Good morning, angels. Good morning. The Hollywood Brahma Kumaris welcome you all, and with a big amount of love and affection, I welcome you along with my partner Raz. For 22 years, we've been meditating together at various places. Her vision was to have meditation on every corner, and we almost have that. So I welcome you all, and let's begin.
Om Shanti. Om Shanti is the universal language of peace. It is what? It is who every soul is. From the place of peace, I can live out my fullest expression of life. And with deep peace, there is nothing to obstruct my thoughts. I am able to yield to what is and remain conscious to what can be. In peace, I understand you. In peace, you understand me. It is at the center of it all.
Good morning again. That was beautiful. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, angels. I am thinking about the reason that we're all here today. The name of the book in our class today is called Vibrations of Love. And the music that you were listening to, he just won a Grammy, Richard Cage. And I want to make sure that we are grateful for the music and the beautiful voice of Sister Jenna. Well, we will begin, and I have the great privilege and honor of introducing one of my first teachers. Actually, my first teacher was Roz, who we have worked together for the last 22 years. But we all went to the Miami Center, and at the Miami Center, we met Sister Veronica. It was such a pleasure and beautiful fact to sit in Baba's room at that time and be able to meditate and learn the lessons, the class of the Brahma Kumaris, the 5 parts of meditation. Veronica, or as they call her, Sister Wadi, but I like Veronica, I don't know why, I'm used to it, has been a meditator for over 40 years. She's lived with our beloved Daddy Janky in England for about 7 years, I believe. And we are honored that she is here in Miami and is the director of all the Florida Brahma Kumaris meditation groups, as well as all of ours. So without further ado, and wait, I do want to say she travels all over the world. Her face is known to every one of the over 1,000 centers in the world. And so I welcome you, dear Veronica, to be with us and join us this morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Etta. I thought you were going to introduce the book.
Well, I'm waiting for you to do that. I will do
Oh,
that.
no. I haven't read the book.
Okay, I will. Here we go. Here is the book that we're talking about, Vibrations of Love. Sister Jenna compiled this book. It says intimate experiences with the divine through contemplation practices, and of course, meaning meditation. You see it backwards when I hold it up? No, it's correct? Okay, that's good. And Jenna put all of these different people, there's many that you know, in this book, as well as our Carol, and as well as Sister Veronica, who wrote how they first were introduced to Baba and their feelings of meditation. So today we'll be talking about this book, and we will have explanations from Jenna and all the rest of our special guests this morning. So now I did introduce the book, and now I introduce our Veronica, our dear Veronica. Thank you.
Thank you, Etta. Thank you, Sister Jenna, and of course Carol too, and Roz, who all have been involved in this little conspiracy to put today's program together. And again, thanks to the people in the background who are operating things.
Yes.
Yes, my initial mystical experience, if you like, happened in Mount Abu at the headquarters of the Brahma Kumaris. After, I suppose, many lifetimes of search, but I didn't know that during the many lifetimes. And the feeling at the present time, having experienced what I experienced back then, and I was so overwhelmed by it, so awestruck by it, knowing that it was beyond the capacity of my imagination to have such an experience. And then the thought was that, you know, only a handful of people in the world know this experience. But that is no longer my thinking. And perhaps with Sister Jenna compiling this book, it affirms that it's not the select few who can be counted in terms of having those mystical experiences, not just a question of visions, but that touch something so deep in the soul that the transformation in terms of the way of seeing and of being is immediate. And it's as if there is no other choice but to be of service. And maybe bottom line, that's what everyone wants, to be of use to the divine and to be of use to humanity, and through the process of involvement to expand one's own consciousness and to broaden perceptions and to make one's heart bigger. And so I would just like to say that this couldn't have happened at any other time. And there is a sense of the importance of this time and the gifts of this time, because I can look at this time and be in utter despair and hopeless about the state of human beings and the world that was entrusted to us. And yet I feel that this is the time, the word that came to me this morning, it's the time of the rising. And whether you're talking about the rising of the moon, it figures in the history of my own country, where at the time of the rising, that there was an agreement that they would cast off the yoke of the oppressors. Everybody stood up and was counted, but in a much more spiritual way. In other words, their yearning was for freedom, the freedom to be themselves. And so when I say the rising, I feel that that's what's happening at the moment. There's an energy that is available, that is both available and is being created by us, that is affirming that we can be free, we can release the shackles of a way of thinking and of a consciousness that has kept us in chains, that has bound us, that has limited us. And the feeling is that it is that time, whether you call it the tipping point or the rising. And many of you I know who are on this call would see yourselves, or would have seen yourselves, as seekers, as pilgrims. And the interesting thing is that what it is that we're seeking is what we had originally. And it's as if there's an energy that is now drawing us. I saw an ad yesterday on PBS, and it said something, I don't know if it's verbatim, but that by looking back, we can move forward. And I see the truth of this in terms of the soul, not looking back at my limited history as an American or a Cuban, but rather knowing the trajectory of the soul and looking so far back that you arrive at the origin. And the origin is that you were with God, that you were with the divine. And you could almost say with the blessing, simply I'm using this as language, but with the blessing of the divine, you began, or I began, my earthly journey, which is many, many incarnations long. And so somewhere we lost the plot. And now where we are is actually the return journey. The destination is fixed and certain. And so that with the pull from the divine light, and because the divine light, yes, is involved even at this stage as a parent, as a teacher, for information, for understanding, for encouragement, but will not do it for us any more than your friend or your neighbor will do it for you. Because within doing it for yourself, not by yourself, for yourself, and with all that's available to you, not least from the divine, then you reaffirm your own self-worth and identity. And of course, a large part of that is a willingness to go inside. And that's where meditation comes into play. And so just for a few moments, let's try and do that. Even as I sit, part of me knows that I am so close. I've done the work as sincerely as I knew how. And now I await the gift that will emerge from silence. And the quietness wraps itself around me and holds me. And my eyes awaken to a light. A light that I remember and from which I have been spun. It's that same light. And it's drawing me now free, unencumbered by beliefs or mistakes, into its orbit. And shines on me as if pouring gold into my open heart, warming it, strengthening it, empowering it. and not only light, but love. And in the whisper from that source, this is who you are. You are light. You are love. You are mine. Om Shanti.
Sweet divine, you know my soul in intimate light. You guide me with a map of signs. Let me know that it's all right. It's all right. Sweet divine, when we speak in deepest prayer, in the silence feel you there, like you're always so aware of me. In these conversations, you help me see the way. These conversations, my unique offering. These conversations, the healing that is mine to claim. Oh, sweet divine. Sweet divine, in your gaze I'm never alone. You lead me back to heart and home. Help me hear the truest tone of who I am. Sweet divine, even when I'm living asleep, forgotten how to listen deep, you find a way to sing to me through the night. In these conversations, you help me see the way. These conversations, my unique offering. These conversations, the healing that is mine to claim. Oh, sweet divine, sweet divine.
Oh, what a beautiful song. We thank Christian Hoffman. That song was written for the book launch of our book today that we're talking about, Vibrations of Love, Sweet Divine. That's such a opening heart song that it's something to think about when you're meditating. Sweet Divine, I love you. So I now have the privilege also, and I have the book right here with me, of introducing our beautiful Sister Jenna. Sister Jenna is known for
Etta?
so many things.
Etta, don't go
Good
into all
morning.
of that, please.
Oh,
Hi. Om
I just
Shanti.
have to say, I just want to say this.
What?
You, whatever you touch seems to turn to gold. That's my introduction. I could
Hey,
say a
it's the
lot of things.
blessing. It's the blessing from Miami, Sister Wadi, Daddy Janki, and my determination and Sister Geeta's love on my head. I cannot take any credit, I tell you. It's just a blessing. But you know, I know all of the introductions, and even for all the people that are on, if you're signing in for the first time, I want to introduce to you Etta and the whole crew. And I just want to emphasize, I mean, one of the things that touches my heart the most about the Brahma Kumaris is their absolute respect for the elders. Elders means over 40. I mean that it's just that when, you know, in the rest of the world, you reach 70 plus and there are conversations about putting you in an assisted living center. And here you have all these elders, everyone, and they're meditating for years and they're showing up in service. Etta didn't even know how to do Zoom 2 years ago, or Sister Roz from the Hollywood place where they used to conduct Raj
True.
Yoga meditation. And I remembered Etta's first Zoom session, and she had like the picture upside down, and then the camera was lopsided. And then I just says, Etta, just call me. You need to do it like this, do it like that. Remember?
Yes.
So what I would like to invite everyone who is on today and who will maybe see this later is to sort of being the awareness, these are elders, are seniors, and they're not waiting for time to come to a close. They're making time last for them, and they're in service. So when Carol, who's one of the co-authors, contributed to the meditation book, and she conspired with Etta and inspired myself and Sister Wadi to be a part of this meditation session today, we just gave it a big yes. So just to let everyone know, this is like your grandmother putting on a show because she's got still a lot in her to offer. And it just so happens that we're focusing around the book. So I just want to give that mentioning right now before we move further. Okay? All right? So I don't want to throw you off of your agenda, but Om Shanti, everyone. And, you know, when this book came about, Sacred Stories Publishing were the publishers, and she had asked me to do a book on meditation. And I was so clear I was not going to ever do a book on meditation. And when I told her emphatically a no, she circled back about 3 months later, and she said, Sister Jenna, really, I'm doing this Common Sentience series of 6 books, and one of them is on meditation, and I don't know anyone else who can speak truth to power for this meditation. Plus, it's all about God, and that's what you and the Brahma Kumaris represent, and you could invite your friends on board for the book. So of course, I thought about it, and thanks to Antonia, who consistently always nudges me to do things, I did say yes, and I'm so glad I did, everyone. The stories in the book, there are 37 co-authors with me. Sister Wadi was one. I think hers was like entitled Doubtful Thomas. I forgot what page that was on, but she spoke about how she just would question things. And, you know, God and even the founder of the Brahma Kumaris, Brahma Baba. But then the opening happened and her life was never the same. And even my experience, where there's a part in the book at the beginning where I was experiencing my first mystical experience as a young girl in the laundromat with my mother, Sister Gita. And I remember that experience so clearly. She's putting the clothes in the washer. We're in the laundromat. I'm a little girl. And all of a sudden, my consciousness went somewhere else. I don't know where, but I knew I went somewhere else. And what I remembered envisioning was there was this council of folks, and they were all in white. And the only thing I could capture in terms of the language for that back then were that these souls were just checking in on me to see where I was and if I was okay. It was the most profound experience. And I remember trying to tell my mom about the feeling. I told her, I feel like I'm not here. I just feel like I'm not here. She just looked at me, of course, not knowing what I'm saying. But it was years later when she became my mother and stepfather. They came into meditation at the Brahma Kumaris. And you must understand, my mother's a very big hero for me. She's a hero because she's come from such a hard beginning. You know, it's been tough in terms of, it's not a normal birth. It's not a normal kid's experience. So being orphaned and going through the traumas that she went through, I witnessed a lot as a kid, like, wow, you know, mom's really angry. You know, I don't think she should be doing that. I don't think she should say that. So I remembered looking at her with these innocent eyes. But the moment she started to study Raj Yoga, and I wanted her to be a part of the book, but her dementia had become so advanced, she can't put the words together anymore. But the moment she studied Raj Yoga and came into the Brahma Kumaris, her whole personality changed. From anger to peace, from fear to trust, from looking for something out there to finding the jewels inside. So in the book, there are just a variety of stories that invites everyone to accept what Sister Wadi said. We really all have access to an awakening. Everyone has the ability to experience the energy of God's light. And I don't know about Sister Wadi if she wants to come on and we can do a little back and forth, but if you go through the book when you find the time, it was so surprising to me how just about every co-author had an experience of God, and it was in light. It was a light. It was a light. It was an energy that woke up the dullness of their spirits and made them start to feel like there was so much more that they could do and they could be. And that helped me to continue to believe how 7.5 billion of us have an opportunity to awaken to divinity and purity and peace. And so, Etta, the book has been an absolute gift also for me, because I have the fortune of being exposed to so many people from all walks of life. And I've often accepted that I'm not the only one having a mystical experience. And I'm not the only one that has felt God's presence here on earth, because I see the samples of God's presence here in each other. I can see when somebody is pure at heart, peaceful, loving, generous, divine, and sacred. I know that they are a living proof that God is here. So, you know, the fortune that I have to be surrounded by so many individuals like that, it keeps reinforcing the presence of God is here. I just have to be in tune to it. And if I can just grab that light in me and then find a kind of a spiritual wisdom to sustain the connection and amplify it, you know? And I think that we're at this particular time, like Sister Wadi said, it's time for everybody to meditate. And it's time for everyone to trust that the energy of the divine is ready to give them a sweet experience of themselves and to just wake them up. Imagine that in a day you can accomplish 5 things just on your own energy. But if the energy of the divine starts to work through you, you can accomplish 50 things without even thinking you did it. That's how I feel every day. That's how I feel every day. I remember when it was a big deal just to do one thing. Now, the divine uses me for 100 things. I can't even remember half of them. You know what I'm saying? So I think why the world feels a little unsettling or they're unsettled is that they don't feel that they're living their full capacity and they don't know what to connect to for their full capacity to occur. And I'm just hoping that if one person, Etta, on today's session that you and Carol have put together, one person, just one person will just be in silence and quiet and just have that sincerity within themselves and just sense God is here. There are proofs of many people in the planet that are very divine in their nature and sweet and humble and generous, and they are the proof that God is here. Can you find him now? In here and in here. So thank you so much to Carol and you for showcasing the book. It's been a blessing and a gift, and I've loved us having these conversations. And Carol, thank you for having the thought of putting this together, but also for you contributing to the book as well. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Vibrations of love. And some say love is a verb. But much deeper than that, love is a vibration. It is that energy that stirs the soul and opens up the heart. Vibrations of love call out to the divine that connects us with the beauty of life and the oneness of it all. I need not to say it with words, although it is always nice to hear, but greater still is to feel it. Vibrations of love lift me higher, and I fill the empty spaces within the soul. It is the divine in its purest essence. it is me at the height of my being. I am vibrations of love. Hmm. He is such a dynamic composer, Ricky Cage. We met a few years ago when I took about 40 of my guests from America meditating to Mount Abu, India, the headquarters for the Brahma Kumaris, everyone. And he performed on that mountaintop in such a riveting way. It was so powerful. I remembered how the music went so deep into me. And when I was driving down the mountaintop, he called me and he asked, Sister Jenna, please, could you lay some words on some of my tracks? I would love to do a sort of a fusion meditation with you. And so it took me about maybe 2.5, 3 years until we finally collaborated and we put this Om Shanti album available. And just Monday, Ricky Cage and Stuart Copeland won in the New Age category Best Album for their Divine Tides. And if you get a chance to go online and look at his new album, it's all about promoting the well-being of the planet and the environment. So all of his music is about helping the environment to become better. So he's a wonderful man, and I feel very honored to have collaborated on this album with him. And it's his second Grammy, and the only Indian to win 2 Grammys, and the youngest Indian to have won a Grammy, to have won any Grammys. So he's a delight.
Yes, and the music is so beautiful, so beautiful. Thank you, Jenna. Well, I was thinking about the time that I met Carol the first time. We were doing meditation at the library, Raz and I, but it was during the summer, and she takes off for the summer. So she, like a teacher, any teacher takes off in the summer. And I was there by myself and doing the class, and it was wonderful. We always had marvelous people meditating, and in walks this beautiful little child with the long red hair down to her waist almost, carrying a yoga mat. And she sat down and she looked around and nobody else had a yoga mat. So she had read Raja Yoga, figured she was going to do yoga. But as it turned out, she was such a powerful meditator that she didn't have to do yoga. She was exquisite. And when I finished that day, I always used to call Raz and I would say, Raz, we had the most amazing girl there today. You'll meet her. You have to come in and meet her. She was meditating so strongly and so powerfully. And so that was my introduction to Carol Fontaine. And she's gone on to do so many things. She's an author of a very big-selling book about her life on a boat for 20 years with her husband and what they went through. Well, you have to read that book because amazing things. They went through hurricanes and whatever, and she survived, and here she is. She's now in, of course, Jenna's book, and I want to thank her for helping us coordinate all of this together. So I welcome our dear Carol Fontaine, and good morning, Om Shanti, Namaste, my dear.
Om Shanti, Etta, thank you so much. I remember that day. I felt like, oh my goodness, this is not the right class for me. And look at us now. It was the perfect class. And these nudges and hints and synchronicities in life, this is how we're guided to go to our best and highest outcome. And I truly believe that this is why I was sent that day over there. And I'm really blessed to have met you and Sister Wadi and Sister Jenna and Roz, and you've all been amazing teachers to me, so thank you. And I remember when I walked in your class, and I was having a difficult time back then. I was between surgeries and I was struggling with my health, and I was a little bit like a lost little lamb, not quite sure where to go, but somehow guided there. And this is also how I ended up in a yoga retreat. And the story in my book that I share on Sister Jenna's book, Meditation, is about that journey of how I ended up in this retreat and just following, just out of really looking for something like the meditation said, to fill that void, to fill that empty space. I did not know what was wrong, what I needed, what I was looking for, but I knew I needed to open myself and to welcome something new. So I was curious, and that curiosity led me to meditation and yoga. And when I walked into that yoga retreat, I was ready, I was open, I was curious, and I was like talking up whatever needs to happen to help me heal, to help me feel whole and connected again. I'm here, I'm ready. And the most beautiful life music started. And in that music, you know how music connects us somehow to the divine? I don't think anybody can say that there hasn't been a moment in time where that music has absolutely shifted your emotion, transformed that moment where you might have felt maybe down and out, and you listen to that music and your heart just blossoms and open, and you feel everything's going to be okay. And for me, music and vibration was kind of the key that opened up a door that was locked behind maybe some pain and some fear. And that live music in that retreat broke down some blockages that I was hiding behind a wall, uncertain what to do. And in that moment, we listened to that divine music, and I just allowed myself to listen to the meditator up front. And I allow myself to be curious and open to what this yogi was saying. Say, okay, I'll close my eyes. Okay, I will imagine. It might feel strange a little bit in the beginning because I'm a new meditator and it's different, but I will allow it. And I did. And the most beautiful experience happened. And when the music stopped, I felt that the notes had carried me higher and higher. And after that, the purest silence. And that silence wasn't empty. That silence in my soul that I might have been scared to look at within was actually full. It was full of love, full of light, full of answers, full of wisdom. And I had been scared to look within, scared to look at what needed to heal in my life, what needed to change. What did I need to transform to heal myself? And from that moment on, it's like the vibration in the music. We are energy. We're energetic beings. And the sounds and the vibration helps open the door so that when we do attain that silence, we're ready, we're at peace, and we're vibrating with that higher love. And I realize also that when I make decisions based out of fear, they're in lower vibration. When I act out of love, I connect, I vibrate, I resonate. Possibilities and opportunities happen. Healing happens. I meet people. I create an amazing life because I am resonating that connection, and people recognize that on a deep soul level. So I really want to, if there's anything to remember for anybody that hasn't meditated yet and that are curious about it, it's because meditation can be a little scary sometimes to people. So instead of saying meditation, maybe just say, I'm going to spend a moment with myself, either listening to an uplifting song, devotional music, or in silence, or walk outside in nature in silence. And observe the feeling inside. Ask yourself questions. See what resonates, and always ask yourself, what would love do? If you bring more love into your action, when you're unsure, uncertain, you have a big decision to make, really the answer lies within love. So if you go within, what vibrates as joy and love? So discernment and self-knowledge and spending that time in silence will help us recognize what is fear and what is love. And love is always joy. It's heart-opening, it's uplifting. You somehow feel raised, you feel like a smile peeking a little bit. And the fear feels heavy. It feels constricted. So if you start to pay attention and really listen deep within, you'll recognize that, and that self-knowledge will connect you more with love, more with silence, and will help you vibrate the love. And when you connect with that spirit and that vibration and that energy, it affects your loved ones and your family, even if they do not meditate. My husband doesn't meditate, but you should see how much he's changed over the years just from my action and from my vibration and from the way that I have changed in our relationship. It's contagious. So let's all vibrate more love. But it starts by listening deep within.
So true. Dear Carol, that's beautiful. Your expression of love is a vibration of love, like the book says, and your expression of caring and thoughtfulness is beautiful to see. You are a very aware person, and we love that you participated with us and went on to do so many things, and now you're an author, and we love that too. Thank you so much, my dear. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Mita, for choosing that beautiful song. Jenna, I see you here. I'm going to introduce Sister Veronica right now as I hate to have this end. Don't you feel the same way? This has been such a wonderful experience. I hate to close this off. Maybe we'll just stay all day and meditate and talk to God. Well, I have again the honor of introducing Sister Veronica to give us a closing meditation. And we thank you for everything that you do for us. I can't say thank you enough to my partner. I call her my partner in crime, who's not speaking today. She has a situation, but Roz and I have been partners in meditation for 22 years. As I told you, it's going on 23. And it's been a joy to me. I've learned so much. And dear Veronica, we thank you for taking the time to be with us. This has been a beautiful, beautiful morning. And if you would help us close off this beautiful call.
I just wanted to say to Jenna that she mentioned that her mom, who was part of the foundation of the BK's work here in Miami, that her dementia would not allow her to write her story. But I have so many people who are writing Gita's story. Their lives, I'm not talking about one or two people, but their lives were transformed because Gita was able to transmit the light of God. And so they are still telling her story by their lives.
Yeah, that's so
Not
beautiful.
Not just contained in the book.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing that, yes, seeing God in others, at first we might praise it, but ultimately it is that God is, or that person is the mirror that will allow us to also accept that possibility for ourselves. And as Carol was speaking and she talked about her husband, I often used to say to wives here who were meditating and whose husbands weren't, that the husbands were living off of their wives' earnings, their spiritual earnings. And of course, you would never fault the husband for it, but ultimately over time, they too participated and were able to earn spiritually for themselves. So just to, again, go back to that image of light. And one of the foremost things that God works with is our imagination. But He directs and guides our imagination. At first, it feels like imagination. The idea that I am peace, that I am love, that I'm more than I thought I was, that I can contribute something. The imagination turns into something else because in exercising it, you're actually priming something that is there latent within the soul. It's there already. And that is the essence of who I am. And that is connected to God. not as a supplicant, a penitent, or a devotee, but as the child. And that inherently, all of that which is of God, the light, the love, the bliss, the wisdom, is in me too. And gradually, the memory returns. I am that. I am love. It becomes my currency. And there's never an excuse not to love. That's my vibration. To claim. Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you so much, dear Veronica. Much love to everyone out there. If you haven't felt vibrations, then I don't understand that, because there was so much beauty in today's class, so much love and so much sharing that we really appreciate and have the awareness that we can live in a peaceful place, even in this world that is so peaceless. And we can take our vibrations of love and send them to the souls that are suffering there, and send the peace that so clearly everyone desires. So as we say so long for today, I want to wish everybody happy holidays that are coming up, and also to say a big thank you to our sister Mita from the Miami Center, who put her finger of perfection on helping us with today's beautiful, beautiful class. And from Roz and myself, we wish you all love, and we're here every week at 10:30 on Tuesday morning, and we hope you will join us. So thank you all. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti.
Light on the horizon, off the starboard bow. Feel the spirit rising, hear the mighty shout. Oh, watch the whole creation turning inside out. He's making
are too close not to let it be. We are sisters and brothers.